welcome back to another episode of Talking Toku, the only podcast where we talk about sci-fi monsters and dinosaur adventures. I am your host, David.
I'm Brian.
And, oh my god, we got so much to talk about today. I mean, not really. We got one really big thing to talk about, and then the main topic, which is like also a big thing, and I've been wanting to do it like pretty much since we started doing this show. And realistically, we literally could have done it at any point in time, but it's timely now. Like it makes sense timeline wise. So that's why
it's a big thing.
It's
for
a big
us,
thing.
So
it's a big thing. Yeah.
We needed an excuse, an occasion, one would say.
Exactly. We can't just
maybe even an anniversary.
Yeah, perhaps. Who knows?
Of the 50 variety.
Yeah, half a century. I wonder what that could be. I mean, we did just have a bunch of anniversaries. Like, I know Godzilla vs. Megalon just turned 51, and Terror of Mechagodzilla just turned 49 today, I think.
Gamera versus Gyaos turned something on our 3-year anniversary for Talking Toku.
That's true. Yeah, we shared an anniversary with Gamera versus Gyaos. That's cool. All right, so Terror Mechagodzilla was March 15th. Megalon was 17th. Oh, hold on. Wait, does that mean Gamera versus Gyaos and Megalon are the same date? Oh no, Gyaos is 15th. So we share.
Okay.
No, yeah, that's right. We shared an anniversary with Godzilla versus Megalon.
Oh, okay.
Peak cinema.
That's a little bit less impressive than Godzilla versus Gamera versus Gyaos.
Excuse me? Shut the fuck up, Brian. I will not. I will not stand for this slander of Godzilla versus Megalon.
But Gyaos.
But Jet Jaguar.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I actually had to have some Jet Jaguar stuff to talk about later on in our "What New Cool Kaiju Thing We're Talking About" segment. But I'll save it for then because it's kind of cool. But hey, if you haven't figured it out, by going back 50 years, doing your little math on your calculator there, this year is the 50th anniversary of Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. And it's actually the 50th anniversary is this Thursday. I don't know the date. The 21st. This will come out on the 22nd or not. I'm going to edit this tomorrow. Maybe I'll just put it out on the 21st just to really hammer home the momentous occasion. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I will. I could. Like, it'd be the easiest thing. Maybe I will. Sure. Fuck it. I will.
You did a lot of convincing of yourself.
I did.
There.
I did.
That was impressive.
Listen, it's been a long couple of days. I've been kind of sick. I've had a stomach bug. Leave me alone.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. We're recording on a Tuesday this week, mostly because I felt like crap the last 2 days. And Brian, you were studying. You were being a good student.
Yesterday, actually, I was carrying an entire project.
So you were being a good student.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep. Something like that.
Okay. But yeah, no, the powers that be would not let us record yesterday, so we're doing it on a Tuesday. But it's okay. It doesn't matter. We're still here. We're going to talk about Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, but holy shit, we got something big in the news to talk about. At this point, everyone and their mother knows, but it's official. Godzilla, it is an Academy Award-winning franchise. What the fuck? That's insane.
That's pretty crazy.
That's insane.
I mean, I could have bet money that it was going to happen. Because like I said to you, like, just by it being nominated, I think it's going to win.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it would have been nominated if it wasn't going to win, you know?
I was pretty convinced when you told me that, but like, at the time, like watching the Oscars, I was getting kind of nervous. I'm like, oh God, what if it doesn't win? And a lot of us were like that.
Well, you guys would have all been filming for nothing.
Oh, we weren't filming for nothing. It just happened to coincide with the Kaiju United 1 year live stream. So if anyone was not aware, the Kaiju United 1 year live stream happened on the same day as the Oscars, and it was Jacob Linkle, Rachel, Adam from Thirsty Thursday, myself, Donnie Winter. Oh God, who else was on at that time? Because it was kind of a revolving door. There was some people came and went. I don't remember who else was there. I think Nick Crispino was there. And maybe someone else, but I don't remember at the top of my head. But yeah, so we were like talking about Kaiju United and like, you know, what had gone on in the past year or so. And we had the Oscars on in the background just to, you know, keep an eye on things. And we all like kind of shut up as the award was coming on. And so all of our reactions are out there. I don't know who posted it. I think Kaiju. I think both KU and
Kaiju United did.
I think KU did, and I think Donnie also did. So if you want to see our reactions, it's there. It's pretty fun. I know Donnie posted a still image of it, and like half the people are all like blurs of movement because they're just so excited, myself included. So that was fun. But yeah, no, it was very, very, very pleasant experience to be able to see that live. Were you watching the Oscars live, Brian, just for that award?
I missed out.
Damn. You didn't get to experience the sheer joy that everyone else did at that exact moment.
No, I was actually listening to YMS cover it in the background.
Oh, okay.
And
wow,
like-
you
and
weren't
like
watching the Kaiju United live stream.
Well, the problem was I was doing schoolwork at the same time, and if I was watching the KU live stream, I would have been active in the chat, and I wouldn't have been able to focus. And YMS is just a black screen because he doesn't show anything.
All right.
So
all right, that
was my excuse.
I'll accept that excuse.
I did watch a bit of the Kaiju United stream for a bit. I don't think I watched it for very long. I was intending to, but time really got away from me.
Yeah, no, I'm just giving you shit. Don't worry. But
asshole.
But what do you think, Brian? How does it feel now that this franchise has won an Academy Award?
I'm gonna give a hot take here.
Okay.
Honestly, it doesn't really faze me a whole lot.
Really?
Like, I understand that it's like an insane achievement, and like it means a lot. And for the team behind Godzilla -1, like it must be absolutely amazing to have your work pay off like that. But like as a fan, like I know I love Godzilla, and the entire point of award shows is to say, well, look how awesome this thing was. It's winning an award. Like, I don't need things that I like to win awards for me to enjoy them. On a level of like, I love how it's getting this recognition. Like it's cool, but like on a personal level, like it doesn't really change my mindset or my opinions or anything. Like I just think it's a cool thing that happened, but I don't know. It's just, it doesn't seem as momentous to me, but also because I think that's a byproduct of me not really thinking very much of the Oscars in the first place.
That's fair. Yeah, I don't blame you for that. I mean, I don't really care all that much for the Oscars. I mean, I pay attention to it. Like, I do my best to watch all the Best Picture nominees every year, but that's kind of all I do in terms of the Oscars. But I mean, for me, it does feel like a big thing. Like you said, like it's getting all this recognition, and deservedly so. And especially, I think a big part of it is that this is a franchise that has been around for 70 years and has not been recognized by the Academy once in all that time. I think Godzilla 2014 was on the short list for visual effects, but obviously did not get nominated. Otherwise, you know, -1 getting nominated wouldn't have been such a big thing. But for it to have won an Oscar, like I think after all this time, that's big. Like to me, like people now more so than, and I already, obviously we've talked about this to death in the months since -1 came out. Like, more than ever, people's eyes are on this franchise, and it gives me a certain kind of satisfaction to see that, like, now people are like really paying attention, like, oh, like Godzilla's like actually kind of fucking rad, So we'll see if that pays off, in the next couple of months, and especially with the new Empire coming out next week. Holy shit!
Oh my god, I forgot.
That is next week, right? Yeah, that is next week.
28th?
Yeah, what the fuck? That is next week. That's wild. Damn. Dude. Jesus Christ. Okay. But yeah, no, I again, very happy. I mean, obviously, congratulations to Yamazaki and co. And of course, I'm a bad Godzilla fan. I don't remember the names of the other people who directed the visual effects. I'm going to bring them up just right now because I know I should. Because I want to support everyone involved.
Of course. Due diligence as a podcast host.
Of course. So congratulations to Takashi Yamazaki, Kyoko Shibuya, Sho Funabashi, and Masaki Takahashi. So congrats to all you guys, and of course everyone else involved in the film. Obviously, that was just the visual effects side of things, but everyone it took to get there, congratulations.
Absolutely. I'm clapping my hands, but my mic doesn't allow you to hear it.
Before we move on to the next story, though, Brian, I want to ask your opinion on something that I've been seeing people talk about in the weeks after the Oscars. I'm seeing a lot of people being like, "Oh, Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire should get nominated for a visual effects Oscar next year." What do you think about that, Brian?
I mean, considering that Godzilla X Kong is working with about 30 times the budget that Godzilla -1 was working for, it is going to be far less impressive. And I'm already telling you that from the trailers, you can say, the CG looks pretty good, but I mean, it's not like Godzilla -1 looks really good.
Yeah.
Like I have gone through stills of that movie with Godzilla on screen, and it is seamless.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Godzilla X Kong, like you look at it, you're like, that's a computer effect. That's the problem with these big stupid movies, is that like all of it is CG and all of it looks fake. It looks good, like it looks realistic. The texturing is really good, but like it's fake. I don't know. I think that's. You know what? Hey, if it looks really good and impressive and there's really like crazy tech in there, sure, nominate it. But man, I don't know. I don't think it's really in the same ballpark.
No, I don't think so.
But movie's not out yet, so I can't even really make that call.
We'll find out next week. I mean, I got my tickets for, I think, Saturday morning was the earliest I could have done.
I'm just going to walk right in there and buy my tickets on the spot.
What if they tell you no, they're all sold out?
Then I guess I'm seeing it next week.
But Brian, we have a podcast to record.
That's a good point. We'll figure it out. Okay. I'm sure there will be a time when I can see it.
Okay, you say so.
I don't think enough people in Bellingham really go to the movies anyways. It's usually pretty sparse in there.
All right, I'll take your word.
And also, the weather has been incredible lately, so everyone's outside.
Oh, that's fair. Okay. Coming up next, we have some details on a new independent kaiju film, because you know us. We love to showcase independent kaiju cinema on this show. So we got a new film coming from director Junichiro Yagi, called Kaiju Yaro. And not a whole lot of details on it, but we have like a little synopsis of it, some people involved, of course. So Kaiju Yaro is set in Seki City, Gifu Prefecture, One day, 30-year-old Ichiro Yamada, who works in the tourism department of a government office, is ordered by the mayor to produce a local film. However, Yamada who didn't want to produce the typical mediocre local movies that are everywhere nowadays, he comes up with the idea of making a monster movie, which has been his lifelong dream. However, his dream develops into a major incident involving the city government. Will Yamada be able to complete his life goal of making a monster movie? I mean, that sounds pretty rad, honestly.
That does sound pretty rad. I like that a lot.
Imagine making a movie and the government gets involved.
You make it too real.
I mean, that happens.
Yeah.
It is already happened in real life. I mean,
Cannibal Holocaust, the director was brought into trial.
I mean, I was going off the fact that, you know, Godzilla 2014 would have been a very different movie had the the U.S. military not said, "Oh no, we need to look cool in this movie."
Wait, really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Yeah, the U.S. military is very, very controlling of how they're portrayed in Hollywood.
It's funny, completely off topic, but I listened to a long video analysis of the movie Lone Survivor.
Okay.
With, and it's like pure military propaganda. It's like it's so shameless.
Yeah, I have steadfastly refused to watch that movie, and nothing is gonna change that for me.
And the thing is that the book it's based off of is almost worse.
Oh, I've heard some of the horror stories about that book.
It's some of the most racist bullshit I've ever heard of. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow. U.S. military really does like to fuck themselves over.
Really do.
Getting banned on Twitch TV, you know.
That's funny at least. That we can laugh at.
That will never cease. That will never cease to be funny for me.
Right. But yeah, anyway, so Kaiju Yaro, again, it's hoping for a spring of 2025 release, but that's pretty much it. It's produced by Mitsuya Ota. And Gunpei is going to be starring. That's the name given. It's just Gunpei is a YouTuber apparently.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah,
interesting take.
That's he actually does look vaguely familiar. I mean, I feel like I've seen him somewhere before, but I don't know for sure.
I mean, hey, you know, a dude wanted to go out and make a kaiju movie, like that sounds like YouTuber energy right there.
That sounds like me.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, Brian, I don't know why this made me think of this. Do you remember that video we made for Godzilla 2014?
Oh, I do. It's still on your YouTube channel.
Is it really still on my YouTube channel?
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no way.
I've been like, I'm gonna go look right now. Where are you?
I feel like I probably deleted a lot of those videos, but I could be wrong.
Yep, there it is. A beautiful day 10 years ago.
Oh my god. 10 years. Yeah, that tracks.
And there's an ass ton of snow on the ground.
Oh god, there is. I don't even remember the last time we had that much snow in Massachusetts. Global warming, Jesus. Gotta love it.
Oh yeah. Holy shit, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember that.
121 views? What the hell?
I was overweight. I refuse to watch it.
Why are there so many views on this video?
I don't know, man.
Wow.
Maybe, I mean...
What a wild time, huh?
I guess so.
There's one comment on it, Brian. Do you know what it is?
Oh, what is it?
It's you. It said his greatest video of all time, 10 out of 10.
Oh, of course.
And that was 2 years after the video was uploaded.
I mean, we were probably talking about it, making jokes about it.
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
Amazing. Okay, let's move on.
Wow, what a time. That was back during the great Godzilla no, I mean that period of time where there was nothing Godzilla.
Well, that
2014.
Was, yeah,
there was like the last year of it.
Well, I think it was for some, like, I don't know, it was a contest or something, but like it was
a contest.
Yeah, it was something to like just use for people to drum up hype for 2014. So
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know what exactly the details was, but yeah.
I wonder what the winning submission looked like.
I don't know. I don't even know if I don't know. I'd have to like look into it and see if we can find it. Anyways. All right. Well, next up, and it's our last thing before we get into our main topic, Godzilla Kaiju Wars VR, which is a VR arcade game that's currently only available in Japan. It's coming to the States, and I'm actually really excited for this because it looks really, really cool. Like, there's some really cool screenshots, like, and there's some interesting like
the States.
Yeah. It's from Raw Thrills, who do a lot of those big light gun games, like our favorite Brian, the Jurassic Park light gun game that we do every time we are in an arcade.
That is true.
Yeah, so there's some. It looks really, really fun. It's in VR. I see Mechagodzilla in there. What looks to be Manda, I can't really tell. It looks like a different Manda design than it. Oh wait, what the fuck? Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's just the proportion. Oh no, okay, it's just weirdly proportioned. Which I guess Manda is kind of weirdly proportioned in general, but yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's got some weird sort of Kiryu looking mechs. I don't know, but yeah,
like non-Kiryu mechs, just nondescript.
Yeah, they're like human looking, but like they also look kind of like Kiryu here.
Huh. Maybe they morph into one and become Kiryu.
Oh, God, I don't know. That's what they look like, though.
No, that's not that. Yeah, that looks ridiculous.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, it'll depend on what arcades you have around you, whether or not you're going to be able to play this. But I hope some around me do, because I really want to play a VR Godzilla arcade game. That sounds so cool.
I mean, we did that the VR zombie game, Dave.
Oh my God, that was so much fun, Brian.
Yes, it was.
I wish there was something
nothing to do with kaiju, but
who cares? It was still fun.
Yeah, it was pretty good. So maybe they'll have that shit there.
Maybe. All right. Well, shall we continue and talk about the greatest movie of all time?
Absolutely.
Well, I think we've talked about it on the show before. No, not I think. We definitely have that, like, we adore Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Like, it is...
It's still probably my favorite. Nah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of divorcing myself from the idea of favorites, honestly.
You have been. You have been for a while now. You keep bringing that up. I subscribe to no such limitations, though. Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla is not only my favorite Godzilla movie, but I would consider it my favorite movie of all time. It's
awesome. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's a comfort film for me. Like, if I'm like in a bad mood, I can put this on, and like by the end of the day, I'm fine. Like, nothing. It cheers me up no matter what. So, God, I don't even know where to go from there. It is just a good movie, man. It's a great fucking movie. Like, it is, to me, I think Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla is like cool, like peak 70s Godzilla. Like, you can make the argument that Godzilla versus Gigan is like just a tad higher up on the scale of like 70s Godzilla, you know, as a representing that era. But I don't know, something about the vibe of Mechagodzilla beats Gigan for me personally.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Godzilla vs. Gigan is also a fantastic film, and we have a review on that movie as well, if you want to go take a look at that.
Yes, we do.
Well, hey, because we kind of tend to talk about the plot, I want to bring something up that I never noticed about until like very recently.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever notice that in this movie, Anguirus does not have his fangs?
No.
Yeah, no.
Wait.
Anguirus doesn't have
Let me
fangs in this movie.
let me see.
Like, compare a picture of him from like Destroy All Monsters, and then a picture of him from this movie.
All right, let's see. Oh yeah, what the hell?
Right? I never noticed that until
That's-
very recently.
That's so weird. I didn't even notice it. I mean, he's not really in the movie a whole lot.
He's
but-
not. I think the reason that I never noticed it is because like I've watched this movie so many times that like it's just, yep, that's Anguirus. Like that's how I remember Anguirus. So like it never really occurred to me that like he was missing anything, because that's just how I remember him looking.
I mean, whenever Anguirus shows up, I'm just waiting for the scene with the bomb ass music in it.
Oh, that's true. All right, yeah. You know what? Yeah, we can talk about that. That this is like one of the best scores in the entire franchise.
Goddamn right it is. It's right up there with the Ibara Horror of the Deep for me.
God fucking bless Masaru Sato, man. Like this
Mhm.
score especially, like most of Sato's scores are really, really good. But for Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, he's got like this really awesome, like big band jazzy sound that is just so iconic. And it's iconic to the point where they play that exact piece, the Godzilla versus Anguirus piece, in Godzilla Final Wars when they're in Antarctica. Like they have that playing on the radio. That's how good of a piece of music that is.
It's funny because I watched Godzilla Final Wars before I ever watched Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
Really?
And I remember listening to that, like hearing that music and going, "Oh, that's awesome." And I didn't really know what it was from at the time, but then when I started watching all the rest of the movies, I'm like, "Oh, it's from this movie, the actual best Godzilla movie."
The actual best Godzilla movie. Oh, I mean, you know, Godzilla Final Wars is pretty up there, I'd say.
Not according to our number one fan, Sam.
Boo!
She hates
Boo!
that movie. She hates it.
Well, then I don't know if she can be our number one fan anymore, if that's the case.
But she does listen to every episode.
Yeah, but she doesn't like Final Wars.
I can't blame her.
Well, hold on. Did she watch this with you?
What? Oh, yes, she did.
All right, well, what did you think of that?
Well, she also watched it without me before we met.
Oh, that's right. I
So-
forgot about that. You did mention that.
Because she asked me what my favorite Godzilla movie was, because I told her about this podcast, and I said Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla from '74, and she watched it like without me even asking her,
Right.
and she was like, "It was insane."
Okay,
Legitimate insanity is what she said.
I do remember this now. Yeah. All right. Well, good. All right.
Yeah.
I'll accept that. She's on thin ice, though, Sam. I hope you're listening. You're on thin ice.
She's gonna listen.
Good.
She's gonna come to your house. She's gonna
She
break your knees.
she doesn't know where I live. She knows the town. She doesn't know my address.
That's true. That's funny, but I do.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean that scene though with Godzilla and Anguirus, like it just lives in my head, or Mechagodzilla and Anguirus, I guess. It like lives in my head rent free.
Whoa, spoilers,
know
Brian.
why.
Spoilers for a 50-year-old movie. You don't know that's Mechagodzilla.
It's actually really funny because the Mechagodzilla like disguise suit, like I don't know, did they use two different
Yes.
suits for that?
No,
Like,
100%
okay.
they did.
Because the Mechagodzilla like disguise suit looks like its dorsal fins are so like balloony. It looks
And
really
the
funny.
the snout is really like pug-nosed, like way more pug-nosed than like the Megarogoji suit already is.
Yeah. Like this is the first time I really tried to like pay attention like to like that, because I was curious about it going in, and I was like, these look very different. but I couldn't tell. Like maybe it was a trick of the light or something. I don't know. I took a bunch of notes for this movie.
You did. You mentioned you took a bunch of notes.
I did.
I'm curious as to what they are.
Well, if I mean a good way we could go through this is if you give a short plot synopsis, and I have notes here, basically in chronological order.
Okay.
And I can
works
tell you
for me. Sure. All right. So, yeah, I can do this. I feel like you're the one who gives the plot synopsis. So this is a interesting little, twist on our normal.
And usually you're the one who has the foresight to take notes.
I know. What happened?
We're really
here?
switching roles.
God.
Last episode, I did the intro, and then.
Oh my God! I forgot about that. Damn, Talking Toku is
really breaking the glass ceiling.
Yeah. I don't think that's the right term, Brian.
It's not. That's for women.
It is for women.
You know what? It's all right.
Okay.
It's not mine. I'm just using the phrase.
Okay. Well, I'll just go into our little synopsis. So we got Shimizu and his brother. They're at Okinawa. Shimizu's there. He's an archaeologist, and they see oh God, what's her name? Nami. She's a priestess of the royal Izumi family. She has like this crazy vision, which this kind of on this viewing kind of confused me, because like in her vision we see King Ghidorah, and like the prophecy we're thinking of is connected to that vision, but like it's the monster that's in the prophecy that ends up happening is not King Ghidorah. King Ghidorah doesn't canonically show up in this timeline for another 30 years? 30 years, yeah. 20 years, because it's Destroy All Monsters takes place in 1999. So I don't know. That kind of confused me as to why. I don't know. I'm gonna just move on.
Honestly, that happened, and I didn't even really think about it.
Yeah, like I mean, I've lost track of how many times I've seen this movie over the years now, but like that only stuck out to me this time.
It is weird now that you say it, though. I just never really had a second thought about it.
Yeah, because like when Shimizu goes into the cave with oh God, what is her name? Psycho, right? That's the one. Yes, Psycho.
The scientist lady?
Yes. When he goes into the cave with Psycho and they see all like the carvings on the walls and the King Caesar statue, like that's the prophecy they're talking about. And it's implied that the vision that Nami has is of this prophecy, but it's King Ghidorah. But King Ghidorah is not in this movie except for that one scene. And it's like a still image too. So it's like,
that's so
why
weird.
did you see King Ghidorah and not, I don't know. I don't get it. Come on, Jun Fukuda. Get your facts straight. I know you're dead, but come on.
I have a single note about this, actually.
Okay, lay it on me.
And it is about my favorite trope in these movies.
All right.
He didn't think she was the scientist because she was a female.
That's true. That is true.
Without fail, in like every kaiju movie, or honestly most movies in general, if there's ever a woman looking average or above, she apparently cannot be a scientist in the heads of male main characters or side characters.
I'm gonna give him a pass because A, the entire site was swarmed with reporters.
That's fair.
And B, she's not exactly dressed like a scientist. She's dressed very casually.
I guess so. Do you want her to show up in a lab coat?
Yes, Brian. I want her to show up in a lab coat, goggles, and with like a microscope in hand.
Oh my God. I mean, that would be kind of on brand for this movie,
right?
To be honest.
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah.
But, and didn't she have a camera with her too?
I think she did, but that's just because she's an archaeologist and she has to take pictures of stuff.
But if like she's with like a bunch of reporters too, like you could very easily mistake her for another reporter.
That is a good point, but this was Hi Brian that made these notes.
That's true.
So
But also consider it was the 70s.
it was also the 70s, which gives my theory credence.
Yeah. So
So
it
is a well established trope. Like it even happened in Final Wars.
That's true. Yeah. No.
Major joke in that movie.
All right, but yeah, so they go into the mine. They find all the stuff about King Caesar. So Psycho is like kind of studying this, trying to figure out what's going on, and we see this mysterious guy watching her. Ooh, more on him later.
He's my favorite.
He is my favorite. He's such a good character. He's such a good character. I love him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Shimizu's brother, he found some weird little piece of metal in a cave system that he brings to Professor Miyajima at Mount Fuji, played by the incredible I can't remember his name. What the hell? I almost said Serizawa because it's the same actor, but I'm like, that's the character's name. Akihiko Harada. So good. Glad to see him back, and he's actually really good in this movie too. He's a lot of fun. I don't know about you, Brian, but just for additional nostalgia's sake, when I watched this for the show, I watched the dubbed version because that's the one I grew up watching. Did you also watch that?
I also watched the dubbed version.
Did you? Oh, this is so great then. I'm so glad we both had the foresight to do that.
I'm gonna be honest. I think the dubbed version is better.
I think I wouldn't say better. I think it's they're both like fantastic in their own rights, but like nostalgia definitely has like an impact on this film for me specifically. And also
I just love the English voice acting. It's just so like it's just so 70s. There's
a lot of like memorable lines in here, like especially like space titanium. You mean it's from outer space?
That was one of my notes.
Like, are you kidding me? It's such a funny line out of context. And I think that line does get memed a little bit every so often in the fandom.
My other favorite line was, it's like, it is a robot, like controlled by aliens because it's made out of space metal.
Yeah, something like that. One of
the funniest stretch of like, it's just so funny. It's the trope of just like coming up with a theory that is 100% true based off of very minimal information, and it makes me laugh
just like
every
the
time.
luckiest guess ever.
You got it 100% right.
Yeah. I also, it's not so much the line as mostly the delivery of it is when it's at the refinery when they're seeing Godzilla and the fake Godzilla duking it out, and they see the skin come off the fake one, and they realize like, oh, it's a robot. Like, I don't know, the delivery of the English voice actor for Miyajima, he goes like, you could call it a Mechagodzilla. Something about that delivery like always like has stuck with me all this time. It's just such a fun line read. I don't know what it is. It's just really fun.
They should have kept that line for Godzilla versus Kong. Just put it in there. Mechagodzilla was revealed.
Yeah, Bernie's version isn't as good.
No, it's not.
Damn. Just more reason the MonsterVerse sucks.
It's a delivery, but it's not the delivery.
It's not the delivery. Yeah, I know, exactly. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
But yeah, so they end up so Psycho and Shimizu end up flying back to Tokyo. Psycho is going to visit Professor Wakura to, ask him about, hey, what's all this weird stuff that we found on Okinawa? And they see on the plane ride back, they see the Black Mountain that was prophesized. So they're like, oh shit, that's not good. I feel like I'm not going as fast in this plot synopsis as I should be.
No, I'm enjoying this. This is great,
Brian. We
could just talk. We could just talk about shit that happens.
We could, yeah. I mean, I don't know how many notes you have, but anyways,
no, continue.
Okay, so they go to Professor Wakura, and there's that really funny bit where Shimizu like gets out of the taxi with her, because it turns out Wakura's his uncle, and they're like, haha, joke's on you. Yeah,
I also made a joke about that. What a dick thing to do.
Yeah, right.
Just like fucking with this random woman that you just met.
It's such a weird like interaction out of context because like she gets out of the car and then like he also gets out of the car and she's like, "What are you doing?" And he doesn't even say anything. He just like gives her a weird
He
look.
ignores her.
He just like raises his
weird.
eyebrows and walks up the stairs. And then it's like a really weird like conversation with her. He's like, "I've brought you a guest," and he's like, "Oh, I see." Like it's almost like weird. It's kind of a weird interaction, but then it immediately cuts them like laughing about it. So that's thank God for that.
Yeah.
Whew. So that night,
if you skip to the ferry part, like if you go to the ferry, I have a lot of notes about that.
That's so far along. We got so much else to talk about.
That's why you can skip through if you want to.
Well, we got to talk
pretty
about.
Fast.
Well, I want to bring up something about the fight scene that happens that night when the guy breaks in to try and steal the statue, because this has bothered me all these years since I've seen this movie. When the black hole alien agent breaks in to try and steal the statue, and he gets into a fight with Shimizu, there's a point in the fight where he just kind of grabs Shimizu's face and like shakes it. What is he trying to accomplish there?
You want to know what happened when that happened?
What?
Like Sam looked at me and did that to me. Because it was just so ridiculous.
Good. I would.
Is this hurting you?
Seriously, like, what is that? What is that accomplishing? That's like, I guess maybe it's a bit disorienting, but it's not like gonna win you a fight.
I guess
I don't understand.
Unless they use their alien strength or something.
But they're never shown to like have any kind of like any kind of super strength. They more or less are just like dudes. They're monkeys, but like that's about it.
I have a note that says the new monkey.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Do you think we're ever gonna get monkey people in the Monsterverse?
I don't know, Brian. Maybe. The next day, Godzilla appears and he starts wrecking shit, which is like, hey, that's not supposed to be the case. Godzilla's a good guy now, which I don't know. Like, it seems to me no one really bats an eye about that. Like, at this point, Godzilla is in his superhero arc. So why people were just like, oh shit, Godzilla's wrecking the town. Like, I feel like someone should have realized something was up, I think.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, just a year ago, he teamed up with Jet Jaguar. And now he's back to destroying the city. I don't know, man. Something that don't seem right.
Maybe Jet Jaguar broke up with him.
Maybe. That might be it. He was going through a tough time. All right. But then Anguirus shows up. Anguirus shows up and to try and fuck him up, and it goes very, very poorly for Anguirus. Rest in peace.
But the music goes very, very hard. The music
goes hard, but damn, it's brutal seeing him get his jaw broken like that. It's like really bloody too.
Every time, it never fails to make me feel awful.
It's
like at the end when he's like scampering away, I just feel so bad for him.
It's the fact that they like put that like warble on his roar, where it's like he's very clearly like in a lot of pain. Like it just makes me feel so bad for him.
Yeah, it's sad.
And also, I have another note about this, like, because Shimizu finds another hunk of the space titanium, but it's like in a perfect brick shape. How did it fall off of Mechagodzilla in a perfect brick shape? I don't get that.
Because he's made out of cubes, man.
He's made out of cubes? Is he Minecraft?
Made out of, or he's. That's why their planet blew up. It's because it's all just cubes.
Oh wait, no, Brian, this is it. That's the Godzilla Minecraft crossover has been in the works since 1974.
Oh my god. That still doesn't work.
They teased it all the way back 50 years ago, before Minecraft even existed.
Notch really is visionary.
He really is. I mean, no, he's not. We don't talk about Notch anymore. He's like a Nazi or something.
Yeah, Yeah, he's something pretty bad.
Yeah, but yeah. So Godzilla, not Godzilla, wins against Anguirus, and then he goes off to destroy a oil refinery, and then the real Godzilla shows up, and this is actually pretty big. We get one of the big things that has come to define the franchise. We get our first official beam clash.
Oh yeah.
Which technically, I guess it could be argued that the first beam clash was in Son of Godzilla with Kumanga, but Kumanga doesn't have a beam. That's just webbing. This is a true beam clash. And they've utilized it a little bit more in the franchise, but like it's more or less been like a Mechagodzilla exclusive thing. Like we didn't really see it again until Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2. Godzilla versus Kong brought it back as well with Mechagodzilla. So it's not a Mechagodzilla exclusive thing, but like if Mechagodzilla is there, there's a good chance there's a beam clash. I don't think they did one in either the Kiryu films.
Did they do one in Terror of Mechagodzilla?
I don't think so. But this is like that's
I don't remember one.
Yeah, I don't think they did. I mean, that's a sequel, a direct sequel to this. So like it, and again, this is like the first time a beam clash was a thing. Like Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla 2, it was a direct homage to this film, so it makes sense. But there's not really a point to like, oh, let's do this again, you know. But yeah, and then Godzilla gets his ass kicked by Mechagodzilla. Also, I really like the sting in this scene when Mechagodzilla first gets revealed. Like the music that plays when we first see him for the first time, like that gets stuck in my head like all the time.
I do not remember what the sting is.
Oh, Brian, how could you?
My head. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it.
Fake Mechagodzilla fan. You have him tattooed on your body, Brian. How could you?
I know, that is really sad.
It's okay. But
actually, funny thing, when we were watching the movie, when they like show off all of like Mechagodzilla, like, and they have that like that shot of his like mouth opening and closing. I like turned to Sam and was like, I should get his mouth open like that as a tattoo below my Mechagodzilla tattoo. And I think it would look really cool because I just like his mouth. It's cool for some reason. I think it's cool. This is gonna take too long. I'll just look it up later.
Yeah, don't worry. It's not like important. But yeah, so Godzilla gets his ass handed to him, which is kind of funny because like we don't see him until like the very end of the movie after this point. Like I always forget like how little screen time he has. And I know like arguing about screen time for Godzilla makes no sense whatsoever, but it's just every time I watch the movie, I'm kind of surprised that like, oh yeah, he's not in here for very long.
I mean, to be honest though, like this movie doesn't have a lot of monster action in general. It's got, you know, it has three major things, but I mean, like,
yeah,
for the timing, it's, you know, it's not like they're constantly on screen or anything.
Yeah, but it's okay because it makes up for it with some damn fine storytelling. Because, you know, after this point, so Miyajima and Masahiko, and I can't remember Miyajima's daughter's name.
Oh yeah, I forgot how she was introduced, and she just kind of was there at a certain point.
She doesn't have a whole lot to do. She really doesn't have a lot to do.
She's just here now.
Yeah,
that's fun. I don't know who that is. I forgot how she was introduced. Essentially,
she's just kind of there as like, you know, to give Miyajima a reason to work with the aliens, because they're like, oh, you better fix Mechagodzilla or we're gonna kill your daughter. And he's like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
Speaking of that scene,
that leverage.
This has always kind of bugged me too. So when Kuronuma is threatening him, he points the gun at his chin. Wouldn't you point it at like his head?
Yeah, I mean, after a certain point, getting shot in the chin is still going to be just as bad as
Oh, I
getting shot in the
know,
head.
but like it just seems like a weird way to threaten someone, you know?
I mean, maybe the aliens are stupid.
That's true.
Maybe they're maybe they don't know how to use guns too
Maybe
well.
their brains are in their chin.
Maybe. You know what? I mean, we don't know what their alien physiology
That's
is.
true.
Like
Yeah.
maybe, you know, maybe they're like a super being. Like you have to destroy every ounce of them. You know,
Maybe.
like
Yeah.
like the thing. That would be horrifying, actually.
That would be.
And that's definitely not it. But hey, because they definitely die, and they die really easily.
Yeah. But yeah, so they get captured and Kurnoma makes them work to fix Mechagodzilla because that beam clash that got Godzilla's ass kicked also kind of messed up Mechagodzilla. All right, but now we're at the we are at the ferry, Brian. So come in with your notes.
Yes. Okay. So this has to do with like after the idol has been stolen by the guy.
Okay.
Or so we think has been stolen. And the main dude, what's his name?
Shimizu.
Yeah, he's chasing the alien guy around. And there is a scene where he's like trying to follow him up these stairs. And the alien dude's like throwing chairs down at him.
Yeah.
And like I was watching, I was like, it really looks like they're throwing chairs at this guy from down the stairs.
I think they were. How else are you gonna do that?
Like I know, but like it looks like really, it's just really funny that I'm just picturing them like, what are we filming today? Oh, we're gonna throw chairs at you from down the stairs. It's just like, how is your day at work? Oh, I had a bunch of chairs thrown at me for a few hours.
Oh, hold on. While we're on this sequence too, there's another incredible line read from the dub in this scene. It's when Nanbara, he's talking to Shimizu and I don't know why I said Masako. Psycho. He's like, on a beautiful night like this, you should talk about love. What an incredible line. Incredible line that I also think still gets memed on to this day for good reason.
Should have had that as my high school yearbook.
No. I think the Captain Gordon quote is still very fitting.
That's fair. That's true.
But yeah, so Monkey Man steals the King Caesar statue, and that's when we realize that they are indeed monkey men, but it's okay because the statue was a fake all along. Which, if it was a fake all along, why did Shimizu go to the trouble of trying to get it back?
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, I have another line about this. Another note. So in the scene when it shows him like the alien stealing the idol, do you realize that like it's in a bag and it's like in a box in a bag?
Yeah.
And he like takes it out of the bag but doesn't look in the box. He just takes the box. Why don't you just take the bag? It's a bag.
I don't know, man.
It's meant for you to carry it. You didn't even check it.
I couldn't tell you, man.
Sam's reaction to that was so funny. She was like, "What? Why don't you just take it? Why don't you just take the bag?" It was so funny.
I couldn't tell you, man. I really could not.
That's why I love rewatching this movie, because every time I do, I always notice something in it that makes me laugh, and it's just like. It's just random shit like that. And also the scene of the alien guy like falling over like the side of the boat. Like, I don't know what it is, but the cartwheel that he does into the water is so funny.
The scream he does when he falls
and the
is
scream.
Like blood curdling too.
Yeah. It's really funny.
It's wild.
Yeah, I love this movie.
It's so good. But yeah, so they get off the boat at Okinawa. because they're gonna go try to fulfill the prophecy to awaken King Caesar. Because at this point they've kind of figured that out. We skipped that, but it's okay. And at that point, we finally get introduced to Nanbara, and he turns out he is an Interpol agent, which adds a whole another layer to this movie. Like there's this whole espionage thing, which is really, really cool. That I feel like I didn't only just now on this last rewatch, like fully appreciated the scope of that. Like these guys have been tracking the aliens for months now, and they're making their move now. Like that's so cool. It's so cool that they added that espionage aspect to it. I love it.
Yeah, and it's very fitting with the music. It's very
yes,
it's very 70s, very 70s spy action kind of vibe.
Nanbara and Shimizu break into the base, the aliens' base, to try and get Miyajima back and co.
Just to save the group from the worst, most miserable execution method ever.
Even back as like when I was a kid, I was like, ugh, I never want to do that. Like they're literally cooking them alive.
Not only is it just like evil and bad, it's also really, really inefficient. Like you could do other shit.
Yeah. Then so they escape. Thankfully,
you really wanted to get them out of the way,
Yeah, they escape thankfully, and at that point, it's all action from here on out. They launch Mechagodzilla. Nami goes to awaken King Caesar, and King Caesar is so fucking cool, dude. I love King Caesar.
Yeah.
Like he's fine. He's whatever in Final Wars, but Showa King Caesar is on another level. He's like one of the more animated kaiju in this era, which is kind of impressive considering how like over the top and expressive they were at this time. But like Caesar is moving all over the place. It's insane. I'm actually
I fucking love King Caesar in this movie. I actually have a few more notes.
Go for it.
So the first one I have here is actually about the main alien, like bad guy,
Kuronuma.
And my note was main alien looking like a Christmas tree with ornaments. And I don't know why I said that, but like, I mean, I know why. It was just because like his fucking uniform just has a bunch of like gold dangly bits on it.
He's got like some weird scales on his outfit.
And I just thought it was the funniest shit. Oh, don't get me. I love all the alien suits from this movie. Like all the alien like men suit designs from the show era are just so charming.
Mm-hmm.
And this one is like one of my favorites. My second note here was, did we plug it in right? Referring to the idol that they plug into like the temple, and like there's a scene where they keep looking back and forth like to the mountain where King Caesar comes out of and where the idol is, like, and nothing happens, and they just keep looking back and forth before like the lady goes to sing her song. And I just thought it was really funny because I was thinking that maybe they didn't think that they like put it in right.
It was for really dramatic tension, Brian.
I know, but it was so funny. Like it went on for like so long. I don't know if it's because I was high, but
it may very well have been because you were high, Brian.
Maybe. And then my final note here, or no, my penultimate note is she got a booger. Which, referring to the priestess lady who sings the song, there is a shot where she has a booger in her nose, and it's really sad. Yeah.
How did you notice that, Brian?
We have a big TV.
So do I.
And I don't know. I mean, I wasn't looking for it. Sam saw it and pointed it out to me.
Okay.
And
I guess I gotta go watch this movie again.
You just want to see the booger.
Yeah. It's okay.
And then my last one was that King Caesar kind of looks like Evie.
Okay.
The dog. Sam's our dog.
Okay. Cool.
I don't know why I put that in there because he doesn't.
He really doesn't.
I think I might have been hit by something at this point.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. And I have a few more, but they're for at the end.
Okay. Well, so yeah, Nami wakes King Caesar up. King Caesar goes to duke it out with Mechagodzilla. Actually holds his own pretty well, I'd say. Until
I personally think King Caesar could have beat Mechagodzilla
I think so too,
by,
given enough time.
by himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's okay because it's called Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, not King Caesar versus Mechagodzilla, because that's when Godzilla shows back up with his newfound magnetic abilities from being struck by lightning.
Oh yeah.
Sure, I guess.
I love the weird just sure.
No, I love it too. It's it's great. I love it, and I love
you
the
gotta
fact,
you gotta give him something. Come on.
I love the scene when he's putting that to use, where he's like physically using his arms to like pull Mechagodzilla down. Like, you don't need to physically move your arms if it's just a magnetic ability, you know? It's just
Speaking of arms, Dave, did you notice that Godzilla's constantly chicken dancing in this movie?
Brian, I've been making that joke since I was a kid. Yes, I have.
I just wanted to remind you.
Yes, of course I have. It's great.
We've made this joke a lot.
Yes, I'm glad you remember this still, as I do.
It's just great.
Yeah.
Somebody invented the chicken dance. I just want you to know that.
Yeah.
Someone invented that.
What?
And it was definitely a white person.
Okay. What if it was Godzilla?
Oh my god, you got me.
Hold
it
on.
might be.
When was the chicken dance invented?
And by whom?
Let's see. Let's find out. Ah, okay. Well, the song's recorded in the 1950s, so I assume the dance was around the same time. So Godzilla did not invent the chicken dance. I'm sorry.
That sucks.
Oh well.
Oh well.
That's fine.
All right. Continue on with your
Yes. So Godzilla
commentary.
shows up and he's kicking Mechagodzilla's ass. Both him and King Caesar. Honestly, King Caesar doesn't really do a whole lot once Godzilla shows up.
Yeah.
Like King
Caesar's just like, you take the lead on this one.
Yeah. Like once they both try to come in and tag team him, like Mechagodzilla, he turns his head around, just kind of goes all out and uses all his weaponry against both of them. And like King Caesar can't really do a whole lot.
I don't know what came over me, but when that started happening, I started like crying, laughing because there was so much smoke on the screen.
Oh no!
And
dude,
like I don't know how anyone could see anything in that situation.
Teruyoshi Nakano, like, this is some of his best special effects work of the Showa era. Like, I mean, he did, like, there's a lot he did. I mean, for special effects stuff, like he did pretty much everything in the Showa era. Yeah, he did do everything in the Showa era. But Mechagodzilla especially, like, was his swan song, I think. Like, he had incredible, like, especially like the oil refinery scene. Oh my god, there's so many explosions going on, and all the miniatures look so good. Because like at this point in the Showa era, like these movies were being made for like pocket change, but like the oil refinery scene is like it's the special effects sequence that feels most like the golden age of Godzilla, like the early 60s stuff. But budget-wise, like it feels like that was the scene they put all their special effects budget into. But Nakano, incredible work on this movie.
I love Mechagodzilla going all out. Like that scene is just like, it's just insane. There's just so much happening. Like,
yeah, it's great.
The coordination that must have been going on for the special effects crews must have been insane.
Yeah.
And also like a logistical nightmare. I don't even know, like, where do you even, I don't even, like, how do you plan all that shit out and make sure that it happens exactly how you want it to? I don't know. It's a lot of work.
There's plenty of books for you to read, Brian, if you want to learn about that stuff.
I do kind of want to learn about it. I thought I had a note, but no, this is actually for the end. Continue.
Well, all right. Well, Godzilla uses magnetic abilities and decapitates Mechagodzilla, which is really cool.
Oh yeah.
And then
For some reason, I got this and Terror Mechagodzilla mixed up. I thought he had the false head inside or whatever.
Yeah, no. The false head was
But-
because he got decapitated in this movie.
Yeah.
But also, so at this point, Nanbara and Miyajima have been recaptured by the aliens, and this is when they break out, and Miyajima uses his pipe to, you know, short circuit their computers. And I meant to bring this up earlier. What use does anyone have for a pipe like that?
Well, to roll it on the ground and make it a distraction, obviously.
But it's no, it doesn't. No, it's short. The pipe itself like has that like, you know, the negative ions between them like get destroyed. All the ions, like that's the point of the pipe. The pipe is what short circuits the computer. Why do you need a pipe like that? In what scenario are you ever going to find yourself in life that you're going to need a pipe that can do that?
In this very situation, it was fate.
It was he just knew that at some point he's going to get captured by aliens and he would need to short circuit their computers.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, you know what? Fair enough. I'll take it.
Hey, you know the King Caesar prophecy. Maybe it's part of it.
You know, maybe. You know what? You might be onto something there, Brian.
Actually, speaking of, my last note has to do with that. So the perfect segue.
Go for it.
My last note here is this religion was based around a prophecy where King Caesar comes out of a mountain for 15 minutes to fight a robot and then goes back to bed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I guess so. But
I just love the grandiose like opening showing this horrible prophecy of a world on fire, and then it's just King Caesar and Godzilla beating up a robot, and then King Caesar goes back to bed, and then Godzilla goes back home.
So yeah, the short circuit computer kind of just blows up the entire base of the aliens, and everyone kind of lives happily ever after. Basically, Godzilla goes.
What's the name of the Interpol agent again?
Nanbara.
The Nanbara. Yeah, the cool guy, my favorite character.
Yeah.
He has the funniest, like most devious smirk on his face when he breaks out of his restraints.
He really does.
It made me laugh so hard. It's so funny. Like I don't know if I ever noticed that before, but when I noticed it this time, it was, oh man, so good. He's the best character. He's the reason I like Shin Kishida as an actor. Like, he hasn't been in like a ton of Toku stuff, but like he's like a main character in Return of Ultraman, which is great. He was in one of the Bloodthirsty films. I can't remember which off the top of my head. Oh, he's apparently the narrator in Ultraman Ace. Interesting. I did not know that. And then I've never seen Fireman because I don't know if Fireman is available to watch anywhere. But yeah, no, I like Shinki. He's a really good actor. Everyone in here is a great actor. And I know I talked about it before on the show, but Masaaki Daimon, who plays Shimizu, last year at All Monsters Attack, he was the big guest there. And it was really funny hearing from him because, like, he is not a Godzilla fan. He was like, yeah, I didn't really know that, like, this many people, like, related to this film so much. And I remember I was talking to him after his panel, like, yeah, like this is a comfort film of mine. I couldn't even tell you how many times I've seen it. And he's like, oh yeah, I've probably seen it like 3 times in my life. I'm like, oh, I've seen it way more than that. I've seen it 300 times.
I don't know about 300.
No, I mean, honestly, if I had to guess, it's probably like 20.
Yeah, that feels about right for me.
I feel like I watch it like at least. I used to watch it like a few times a year, but lately I watch it like I have like a rotation of movies that I watch like once a year, and it's in that rotation.
Yeah.
So
it's for me it's like this and the original Godzilla. I usually watch at least once a year, which I don't think I watched the original last year. I'm behind.
I have not watched 54 in quite a while.
Well, I'm
54 is a movie that I like to watch it when I feel like it. I don't want to,
Well, the past couple times I've watched it has been like showing it to people who have not seen it, and I haven't had a chance to show it to anyone who hasn't seen it yet. So that's why
I have not shown it to Sam. So.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, the thing is, I want to cover it this year later because it's the 70th anniversary this year. So I definitely want to cover it later this year. So
I'm down.
There we go.
It's prime time.
Exactly.
I mean, people are into the series, and it's the first one.
I know, but yeah. So that's pretty much all we got to say on Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. It's a fantastic film. I know I'm biased.
Hold on, Dave.
Hold on.
What we didn't. Our most important part of movie.
Oh
reviews.
my god!
What was your favorite scene?
Of course.
Your favorite scene.
My favorite
Dave,
scene.
Come on, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Come on,
Brian,
what are you doing?
Brian, come on. Listen. I've been sick the past couple of days. Cut me some slack.
We've been at this for 3 years.
Oh yeah, we didn't even mention that. Yeah. This is I guess technically our 3-year anniversary episode. Which, you know what? That's kind of fitting that we're covering this movie for a 3-year anniversary. Honestly, that feels
Considering
very
we
fitting.
forgot about our 2-year anniversary.
Yeah, we missed our 2nd anniversary. Oh well.
Yeah.
God, I don't know. There's too many good things to choose from. I think it's Mechagodzilla's first real appearance. I think that's my favorite scene. Like, again, the music, the oil refinery, the music, like everyone, like the characters' reactions when they first see Mechagodzilla, and like the presentation where it's cutting to all the various things. Like you see it shows his mouth moving, it shows his hands like spinning around. In his eyes lighting up.
Toes.
It's so cool. It's such a well-directed scene. I love it. I love that scene so much. Again, I can
rocket toes,
his rocket toes and his knees.
Yes, that's right.
He never uses the missiles in his mouth though.
Yeah.
He also never uses the flamethrower in his mouth after the fake skin gets shed. It's weird. You'd think he would have used that.
Yeah. Maybe it's just not like. Maybe they're just, I don't know. Maybe it got damaged or something.
Maybe. I mean, the
part of the repairs.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that wasn't in the repairs that they had to rush it or something. But
yeah. Also, Godzilla strikes me as pretty fireproof. So
that too.
Yeah.
What was your favorite scene in the whole entire movie, Brian?
Man, I mean, it's got to be the. False Godzilla versus Anguirus. I just love that so much. It's just such a wild roller coaster of emotions. Happiness to see Anguirus. Oh my god, it's Godzilla. Holy shit, what's happening? They're fighting. What's this awesome music? Oh my god, they did the King Kong thing. And now I feel bad for Anguirus and I'm upset. It's just what a roller coaster. It's just utter insanity. And it's the scene that I think of the most when I think about this movie.
That's fair.
So it's just and like that music, like it just sticks with me. Like that tune, like it lives in my head. You know.
Fair enough.
That's gotta be my favorite scene. A close second is now the scene where the chairs are being thrown down the stairs, just because it's so funny. But. Yeah, both of those are pretty fucking good.
All right, I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right. Is that all we have to say on Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla, Brian?
I think it might be.
All right. Peak cinema. That's what I have to say. It's.
I agree. I think it is peak
greatest
cinema.
movie of all time.
Like this movie is like. This is the movie I think about when people talk about the Showa era. Like, I just think about this movie.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Like, again, it is quintessential 70s Godzilla for me.
Yeah. Like, I think that this is like, as like, not even just for Showa, but if we're just talking about Showa, I think that this is like the high point. Like, you could argue other movies, but for me, it's it is top. It is the bar to beat for Godzilla movies.
Yeah. Like I know
And
people go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I know, like, me personally, like, I've kind of divorced myself from picking favorites on stuff. Like, I just have different flavors of things that I like. But like, if we are talking about favorites, like for me, like Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla is always going to be the bar that a new Godzilla movie has to beat, and it's just what I it's just my idea of a Godzilla movie. Godzilla minus one, very different from it, but it's up there with it. It got it's neck and neck.
Mm-hmm.
Like I love both of them. Yeah. So I don't know. That's just my little spiel on that.
No, I agree. I agree. But yeah, no, and I know I'm biased, like insanely so. I'm sure to most people it's not, but to me it's a perfect movie. Like
I think it's perfect.
it's perfect.
I think all the things that are like goofy, like the weird King Ghidorah shit, and just the weird things that you notice. Like I don't think it is mark. I don't think that's marks against the movie.
Not not at all.
Honestly, I would like kind of. It's just hokey. Like it's just funny.
Yeah.
And like a little mistake like that, like it doesn't hurt anyone. It doesn't make the story worse.
No.
Like it's just goofy shit, you know. So I don't know. Like if you're being if you want to look objectively at a movie, I guess you could point out a bunch of things that could be fixed about the movie, but I just don't care. No one cares about it. Like the movie obviously doesn't care either. It's just having fun.
It is. No, and that's really the biggest thing that works for the movie is that it's a shitload of fun. And I know Jun Fukuda like didn't really look back on his work on the Godzilla series very fondly. Like he just did it because he was asked to. But honestly, Fukuda's work on the Godzilla franchise was like some of the best. Like Gigan and Mechagodzilla especially are looked at by fans as some of the high points of the series. And it sucks that like he kind of died not knowing that like a lot of the fans, hold those films to such a high regard. I don't know like what his response to that would have been, but I mean, Daimon, when I met him, like he seemed very pleasantly surprised that so many people had so much love for this film, especially. So I would hope Fukuda would feel similarly, because his work on this film, especially, like it's incredible. Like, obviously, like Fukuda was brought in to direct Godzilla because he was an action director, and they wanted to take the series in more of that direction. And I think this is like the one that's like the most action heavy. And not even just like on the kaiju side of things, because like Fukuda, he didn't do kaiju stuff before Godzilla. It was just a typical action blockbuster. That's what he did, and like this, I think it is where it's very much evident that he got to kind of do what he was more well known for in that scope of things. So. This is kind of, for me, this is kind of like where everything really came together to make, like, again, one perfect movie.
Yeah. I mean, like, this movie's just got a lot of action movie DNA in it. Like, it's not just kaiju genre. Like, there's a lot of action in it. Yeah. And, like, I can definitely see that. And I think that works to its benefit. Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think it is a perfect movie. One of the few that I would say is perfect.
Awesome.
But
love to hear it.
All I have to say.
Shall we move on to our final segment?
You can tell me your stupid acronym. Go ahead.
No, Brian. I only do that when we have a guest on because I know it annoys you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I can tell you now, though, because you asked. You specifically asked me to say it, so I mean, I guess I should.
God damn. All right, go ahead. Let's get it out of your system.
WNCKTAYCORN. What new cool kaiju thing are you checking out right now? You did this to yourself, Brian.
I want to quit.
You want to quit? 3 years in, you want to quit? Brian, we can't quit. We literally can't. We have the new monkey coming out next week.
We waited with bated breath for to cover the new monkey,
and we just don't. We end the show before it even comes out.
Oh my god, that would be a really funny April Fool's joke.
That would be. Well, I don't think we're gonna do this, but I did have the idea a week or so ago that we review the new Empire and just gaslight everyone into thinking it's like the greatest Godzilla movie of all time. Better than -1, better than Godzilla 1954, better than Citizen fucking Kane. It's the greatest movie of all time. I don't think we're gonna do that though. It would be funny.
It would be really funny, but also like I feel like people would be able to smell our bullshit.
Probably. I mean, with how much we've talked shit about the MonsterVerse on this show, like it'd be very easy to see through the lies.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a very good April Fool's joke.
It would be funny though, I think. Well, it's funny. So like, totally off topic here, but so Howard, my co-host on DCM, we were gonna do an April Fool's movie review on the original Super Mario Brothers movie from the 1990s. And because the Coolidge Corner Theater was showing it last weekend on a midnight showing, so we went to go see it. And he had seen it before. I had never seen it. This is my first time seeing it. And we got out, and I'm like, and that our plan for the April Fool's joke was to do the same thing for this. Like we were going to gaslight people into thinking it was like this, like the greatest, one of the greatest movies of all time. But we got out, and I was like, I like really enjoyed that actually. Like I don't even think we need to do a bit. I just like had a ton of fun with that movie.
Nah, dude, that movie's insane.
It's insane. I had no idea. I was not expecting to enjoy it as much as I did. Like I had such a blast with that movie. I'm so glad I went to see it.
Yeah, it's I have never like sat down to like actually watch the whole thing, but I've seen big chunks of it. And it's fucking crazy. It was crazy. Something that somebody wrote it on just like a insane high.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of drugs they were on making that movie, but it was some good stuff, clearly.
Was it like peak cocaine years?
Yeah, but it was the 90s, though. Cocaine years felt like would have been like the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What was the major drug in the 90s?
I don't fucking know.
What was
you're looking it up?
The major drug in the 90s? MDMA.
All right.
Okay.
Then. Sure.
Cool. Okay.
I mean, all right.
But it says it was popularity through the... Oh, it's just... Never mind. But yeah, MDMA. Okay. Right, that's kind of funny, actually. I'm glad I looked that up. That was some useless information that I needed.
Good job, Ryan. But anyways, what new cool kaiju thing have you been checking out right now, Brian?
Man, I feel like I did watch something recently, and I don't know. You go. I'm gonna think.
Okay. Well, I teased something about Jet Jaguar earlier. I've been catching up on some of the Godzilla Rivals comics that I've missed. I read what was the Mechagodzilla one that was kind of just okay. But then this morning I read the Jet Jaguar versus Megalon one, and that was like so good. It was a really mature story. Like it had this, like the main character Jen, like she had a lot of mental health issues, and like, you know, she was, you know, coming back from like a rehab center, and she was like working she was working a fast food job, and the fast food place was called Manila Burger. So I was like, nice. But then Megalon attacks, and like it opens up a crevice in the ground, and she falls into this lab where Jet Jaguar was being built. And she has to kind of put them back together. And Jet Jaguar is like talking. He's like an actual character. He's got like an AI in him this time around, which was really nice. And like he's just like he's just kind of like helping her through her trauma. And it was like really, really heartfelt. I really, really enjoyed the issue. So, and like Godzilla Rivals has been a very hit or miss series because it's all one shots. It's different. It's a different creative team with every issue. But this one especially, I really, really enjoyed. And a lot of them recently have been kind of just whatever on. Like some of them are like really good, but like some of them are just kind of okay. But this one was the first in a while that I've been like, all right, that was really good. I got one more I need to read. I think it's like Mothra versus Mogera, I think. I don't know. But yeah, no, the Jet Jaguar versus Megalon, definitely go check that out. I really enjoyed it. I still got to get the Valentine's Day special from IDW as well. That's not Godzilla Rivals. That's just other Godzilla comic from IDW, but we'll get to that. I did start Attack on Titan season 4. I'm not too far into it, but
we've talked about it.
I laughed a lot because Sasha was like, "Why are you black?" And I'm like, "Sasha, you can't ask someone that."
That was really funny.
It was kind of funny.
But what happened after was not.
No, absolutely not. Well, we won't talk about that.
How do you feel? Well, preface before, because I guess Attack on Titan is still kind of new.
Yeah.
Potential spoilers for season 4 stuff. So if you haven't, just stop listening here. What did you think? I'll give it a few seconds. Okay. What did you think about the switch from Eren being protagonist to antagonist?
I fucking loved it. Like, it took me a second to really understand where they were going with it, because I'm like, why are we like focused on the Marlians? I don't really get it. And then it was like, oh, I see what they're doing here. I know. I really, really enjoyed it because like you have all 3 seasons like really focusing on Eren and everyone on Parody, but like all of a sudden it's a total 180 and you're like, oh shit. But and I mentioned it to you, like, just because Eren is the antagonist, that doesn't mean everyone on Marley are the good guys. Like, everyone's kind of terrible in this show.
I mean, I told you to expect a lot of that.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get a lot of it.
Yeah.
There is stuff that you don't know about that happens later that is wild.
Oh, I'm sure.
And like I really love the switch that they did where it's like now we're focusing on Marley and like we kind of like the parody crew kind of take a back seat and you kind of forget about them for a little bit, and then you see this guy and he looks suspiciously like Eren, and then he sounds a lot like Eren.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is not good. Something bad is going to happen.
I mentioned that to you, Brian, and you said you like didn't get it at first. You said
no, I didn't, and the entire reason why is because Eren in season 4 is like a completely different character. He's like so subdued.
He is. He's
and just
very
like
different.
Not like he sound like that. That's the thing. Like when I was watching it with Sam for the first time, I said to her like, he sounds a lot like Eren, and she's like, interesting. And I was like, oh, so that's Eren, huh? And it was it was basically revealed in the episode after.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a really, really cool twist. I'm excited to hear what you think about the rest of the season, because it's a crazy ride. I honestly think you and I could feasibly cover it in one episode.
You think so? The whole show or the season?
The whole show? I think we might be able to do like a 2-parter for like one half of the show, second half of the show.
Okay. All right. We'll have to do some major planning on it.
Yeah, I completely agree that going over the entire show in one episode would be a chore, and it would also be like 3 hours long.
Yeah.
But if we cut it into 2, I think we could do like a part 1 and a part 2.
Okay, maybe like cover the first 2 seasons and then the last 2 seasons or something.
Yeah, especially because season 4, like the 2-part finale, they're both at like an hour and a half long.
Yeah, those are like feature length. I know.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm psyched to hear what you think about everything. You need to keep me updated.
Ryan, was there ever any doubt that I would?
No, not really.
Exactly. Exactly. All right.
Yeah.
One more thing I got going on, unless you thought of anything you want to talk about, Brian.
I did.
Okay.
A few things. I saw Dune Part 2.
Oh,
I did it.
yes.
Yes. I enjoyed it. It was long. It was very long.
I don't think it's
but
that much longer than part one, honestly. I could be wrong.
See, that's the thing, is that it felt longer. I think part one was better. I liked part one a lot. But part two, it was good. It was great, even. Don't get me wrong. But there were points in the movie where I felt like it dragged a bit. And the relationship between Chani and Paul, like, I just didn't really care about it. Like, I bought it. I'm like, sure, I could see them as a couple, but like, it just went by so fast, and like the time skips didn't really help with it either. And I don't know, I just kind of got lost in translation. I just didn't really care very much about like her leaving at the end and their relationship being in, whatever. But I still liked it. I love the world of Dune. It is so cool. It is very clear that Warhammer has taken an immense amount of inspiration from it. Like, when you said it to me, I didn't realize until like this movie really, like, I'm like, oh yeah. Like, with all the shit with like the Emperor and this is crazy.
You gotta read the book, Brian. I'm telling you.
I've been listening to like a couple hour-long lore videos about Dune, so I've kind of heard about the stuff from the books.
I mean, do you have Spotify Premium?
I do.
Then you can listen to the audiobook.
Oh, okay. I might do that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because I know you can. There's audiobooks on Spotify Premium. I don't know how exactly it works though, because like I can't access it, but I think that's because I'm on a family plan. But I don't know for sure. Because I've tried to access audiobooks and I can't, but I think it's only because I'm on a family plan on premium. So,
gotcha.
But if you have access, you should.
I'll look for it. I will check. My two other things. I preemptively bought Dave the Diver for the Godzilla DLC. It's on sale right now.
How much is it on sale?
It is. I think it's $15.
Bet.
Yeah, $15, and there is the Dredge content pack is free, so you don't even need to buy it.
All right.
And then the other thing that I bought and have not played yet, but I'm going to once I finish school, is I'm going to jump back on the Jurassic World Evolution 2 train, because they did the thing that we already thought that they were going to do and added those bioluminescent variants of dinosaurs.
I really thought that was in there already. I could have sworn it was already in there.
I think there was the bioluminescent, what's the ones with like the weird shaped heads that were actually in. Yeah, I think they added those in an earlier one, but this is like an expansion of that.
Oh, so it's like more dinosaurs that have the bioluminescence?
There's more, and they're like, there's like,
that
like
makes more sense then.
In the thumbnail for the trailer, like they have like a bioluminescent Triceratops mixed with Stegosaurus.
Oh,
like
okay.
It's here. Let me see if I can.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I can't even copy paste this.
All right. Well, whatever.
Yeah, but it's there's a lot more like mixed dinosaurs in here. There's a Spinoraptor.
Okay.
There's a Spinoraptor. There's a Spinoceratops, which look insane. Like their back is like bright orange.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool shit in here. I'm very excited to check it out. I just need to finish up school before I do.
Right.
But yeah, so I bought that. I'm super excited about it. I'm gonna play it pretty soon.
Very nice.
And that's all I've got.
All right.
So,
well, I'll cover this.
Last thing about Dune.
The
Black and White Planet is the coolest fucking thing ever. I forget what the name of it is.
Oh, Getty Prime. Well,
Getty Prime.
I don't
It's
think
the coolest.
it's not black and white. It's
So
just the moon. Like nights are black and white because we see Getty Prime in the first movie. Like that's it's when we're seeing the Sardaukar and there's that
right.
one like throat chanting guy.
I love that. I've seen so many memes about that guy.
Oh, I know, it's great. He's the best.
It is.
That was
so good.
like when it came out, part 1 was like not memed at all, except for that guy.
I love that guy. We need more of that. That was the one thing Dune Part 2 is really missing.
Yeah, they're missing the chanting dude. Very sad.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
well.
yeah, Getty Prime. What a cool idea.
I know.
Like I wish like Star Wars would use like cool planet ideas like that more. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Fuck it. This that has nothing to do with anything, but
I know exactly what you're talking about because everyone else is also talking about it.
But I mean, I tweeted about it on the Talking Toku Twitter. So, Star Wars: The Acolyte. We got a trailer for that and a poster. Holy shit! The poster goes so fucking hard. It's just like a lightsaber hilt, and there's like a smearing of blood that is supposed to look like the blade. It looks so fucking cool. The trailer dropped today. Looks good, but I'm still being very cautiously optimistic because I really like the High Republic era stuff, but I also really don't like what Disney's been doing with Star Wars in their TV shows, with the exception of like Andor. So I don't know. We'll see. On the bright side, I didn't really know this until like the trailer dropped, basically. It is taking place like a couple of years after most of the High Republic era stuff because they do have one character returning from the books, Vernestra Rowe. I think that's how it's pronounced because her last name is spelled RWOH. I don't know how to pronounce that. Someone has told me it's pronounced Rowe. I don't know if that's correct or not. I'm going to assume it is because I don't want to try to say Rowe every time I'm reading it. But she's like, I think maybe 17 in the current timeline, but like in this show, she's like a full adult. So if they quote unquote ruin it, like it won't retroactively ruin all the other books from the High Republic era, for me at least. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Again, cautiously optimistic. I want it to be good because I really like the High Republic era, and I want Star Wars to be good again, man. I really want Star Wars to be good again.
I wish it was. And I mean, hey, with this show, at least they're fixing one of the things that annoys me the most, which is their over-reliance on a safe, like, time placement. It is either before the Empire fell or right after the Empire fell, and they love to stay right around there.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I hate it.
Fingers crossed. That comes out in June, I think. But hey, season 3
I'm
of the
going to
Bad
wait
Batch.
for your opinion.
Yeah,
I'm going to wait for your opinion on it, and then I'll watch it if it's good.
You should watch Andor in the meantime, Brian, because I know you have not watched Andor yet.
You're right. I have not.
You got to do it. You got to do it. I don't know if season 2
I watched a bit of it, but I never watched the full thing. So
it's a slow start, admittedly, and
yeah,
it's evident that it is a slow start because they dropped the first 3 episodes all at once because they realized, like, if we do this weekly, no one's gonna stay to watch the whole show because the first couple episodes are very slow. So
yeah, more or less.
Yeah. But definitely go watch Andor. It's like the one good thing Disney's done in the past couple of years. But hey, season 3 of Bad Batch is really good so far. Anyways, this is not a Star Wars show. This is Godzilla show. So I know I can't wrap it up because I still got to talk about this one last thing before we wrap up because I want to go home. I have been reading the novelizations of Godzilla and Godzilla Raids Again by Shigeru Kayama, obviously translated by Jeffrey Angles. Really good so far. Interesting. I don't know about Raids Again because I haven't gotten that far yet, but I know the novelization of Godzilla is based on the original screenplay that Kayama wrote rather than the actual film itself, because there are a couple different things about there are differences between the screenplay and the final film. Like, I mean, I messaged you about it, Brian. Like, Ogata is barely in the book. Like, he's there, but like he's not who the character he is in the film. Like, his role is more or less filled by Shinkichi. Ogata's there, and he has the same role. Like, he works for the shipping company, but he's like the boss. Like, Shinkichi works for the company, but he's Ogata is Shinkichi's boss, and he's just kind of there. It's never really explained why he's there. He just kind of shows up. He's like, "Hello, I'm here. Godzilla's a thing." The thing that threw me the most, like, I knew about Ogata not being a thing. I knew they included Godzilla eating a cow on Oto Island. The one that
wait, what?
Yeah, there was a cut scene where when he first shows up on Oto Island, when he raises his head up over the mountain, like, I think there's even concept art of it. He's got like a cow in his mouth, like a bloodied cow.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah. But the thing that threw me the most about the differences is there's like, I don't know how to describe it. There's almost like a cult surrounding Godzilla. Like, after he first shows up in Tokyo, like, there's, what is it? It's the Tokyo Godzilla Society, and they're like sending letters to people who like lost loved ones to Godzilla, like, oh, if you want Godzilla to die because you lost someone, you're no better than he is. Like, if Godzilla dies, like, something bad's gonna happen to you, I bet. And like, it's really weird. That's
some America energy right there.
It's so bizarre, dude. It kind of came out of nowhere. And the weird thing is that, like, it kind of ties in with the rest of the story, because, like, you have Professor Yamane, like, being the one who's like, oh, we shouldn't kill Godzilla. We got to study him. So, like, everyone who's heard about the Tokyo Godzilla Society, like, they kind of think Yamane is behind it because he's like one of the few people who wants not to kill Godzilla. So it's really interesting from that angle. And again, not expecting it whatsoever. It was really strange. I don't know how or even if they're gonna like wrap that up in the novel, but we'll see. I'm almost done. I think I have like 2 chapters left. I'm at the point where Emiko is explaining seeing the oxygen destroyer, which I mentioned to you, like, in the movie.
Yeah, I didn't reply to it, but yeah, it's that was
So
wow.
So in the movie, it's Serizawa only ever alludes to the fact that he will end up taking his life if he uses the oxygen destroyer. But in the novel, he just straight up says to Emiko, like, yeah, no, if anyone ever forces me to use this, I will kill myself. Like, he straight up just says it outright. I'm like, damn, okay.
I guess depending on the format of the book and the perspective, I guess it is hard to like portray.
I guess so, yeah.
Like people's facial expressions.
I don't know. But yeah, that like that really took me off guard. I'm like, oh shit, okay. Like, damn, dude.
All
right.
The subtlety is gone.
Right. It was funny though. I mean, it's not funny. It was just it was funny in like a shock humor kind of way. Like, damn, I didn't expect him to be that blunt about it. But yeah, that's.
Would you be part of a Godzilla cult, Dave?
Depends on the context.
Not this Godzilla.
Not this Godzilla cult. No,
just a Godzilla cult.
Again, it depends on like what we're all about.
Okay. Quick like example.
Okay.
A cult springs up after the end of Shin Godzilla that worships the frozen Shin Godzilla and thinks it is God, which it might as well be, honestly.
Not.
No?
No.
Okay. I'm glad, because that's pretty horrifying and honestly pretty on brand for fucking Hideaki Anno motherfucker.
Honestly,
Loves
yeah.
this weird god shit.
All right. We're getting close to the 2-hour mark. We should wrap this bad boy up.
Yes, we should.
So yeah, that was Talking Toku. Go follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook and YouTube, all at Talking Toku. Go check out our Discord server. Also, go check out Kaiju United's Discord server and their website, more importantly. You guys know what we're doing next week. Or not next week, but the week after. You guys know. It's the new monkey.
It's the new monkey.
It's the new monkey.
It's time. It's here. He's coming. It's going to be messy. And there's going to be a lot of crying and happiness.
Brian's going to be
and
sobbing
emotions.
on
I'm going to be sobbing in the theater.
Brian's going to be sobbing as we're recording.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of emotions. Emotions are really high right now in the in the weeks leading up to the new monkey.
Yeah.
There's a lot of anticipation.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, we'll let you know how that goes. I also am pulling double duty. I'm going to be showing up on the Kaiju United Town Hall podcast to talk about that movie. That will probably end up coming out before this episode, or not this episode, but our episode on Godzilla x Kong. Or I don't know. I don't know what the turnaround for those are. I think it's pretty quick though. I don't know. I don't remember. They don't, they only do them sporadically when like there's something big coming out. Like they've only had 2 episodes, like one on -1 and another on Monarch. This will be their 3rd episode. I don't know what their turnaround is. We'll see. But I will be showing up.
If just you can get one of our episodes out in a week, I'm sure they can get it out.
I mean, I only put them out on Fridays just because, like, I decided, yeah, that's a good day to put them out. Like, I can if I really wanted to, I could put it out as soon as I'm done editing. Like, I absolutely could. It's just I decided, let's do Friday. Why not?
Fair enough.
So, I don't know. But anyways, that's, yeah. Well, yeah. Godzilla. Goodbye.
Godzilla.